very disappointed in the way we played today. Certainly don't know that we could have won the football game, because Virginia's a very good football team. They've got their defense is very, very well coached, and they've got a quarterback that makes plays when plays aren't even there. And and he threw the ball really well today also. But we up 14-10, and we just went off the rails doing things that we haven't done, and just felt like from that point forward that we weren't very well coached in all facets of the game: offense, defense, special teams, and that our kids just didn't play with that same confidence that we did when we were up 14-10. Felt like it kind of carried over into the locker room, and then we just really never responded, which falls on me and our staff, and it's disappointing. Again, really felt like coming in here that we would be in the game. Never know what the final score would be, but I felt like we had a good week of prep, and that we would have a shot to be in it at the end, and that's disappointing that we weren't.
When you're a program like this, with the talent disparity, how much is a momentum shift like that? How much does that affect a team like that?
Well, it appears that it affected us a lot more than I would like to admit, because I'm big on don't blink. We got to play the next one. Obviously, it was upsetting. I mean, we had an RPO on. The ball should never go deep to the middle of the field, and he knows that, and he's beating himself up. But that was frustrating, and it certainly seemed like it carried over into the half, and then even over into the second half. It kind of felt like that we didn't have the same juice.
Could you sense that it kind of whooped them up too? They were kind of in a malaise at that point, it seemed like.
Yeah, that'd probably be a better question for Bronco, but there's no question it gave them some momentum. Not only did they get the pick, but they returned it to the other side of the field and had a short field. And it seemed like we gave them short fields the whole night. Our special teams were as bad as they've been all year. We've been pretty solid. We were not very good today. So it definitely gave them some momentum at a time where they probably needed some.
For as good of a stretch as Buckshot's been on since the Louisiana game, how disappointing is it for that streak to come to end in such a pivotal time?
Well, I can't say I'm disappointed in Buckshot. He's played his tail off this year, and would he like to have a few back today? And would I like for him to? Yes. And I was kind of shocked that at that decision, because I just hadn't seen anything like that in so many games. But they're still young men, and we still make mistakes, and that would just happen to be one at a tough time for us. But man, we're not at this point of possibly being bowl eligible without him, and he'll bounce back. There's no doubt in my mind he will be ready to roll next week.
Coach, reality is one more left on the schedule in order to make history with this program. What's your message to the team?
60 minutes for 60 more. That will be my message. We've got 60 that are on the schedule, and we got a shot, if we win those 60, to have 60 more to play together, and that sure would be fun to do, especially for these seniors.
Did you feel like
kind of a unique situation playing a team you've already played this year? Have you ever faced a team twice in a regular season before, and does that make it easier or harder? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I never have. Man, that seems so long ago to me that I don't even feel like it is two times. They're probably different now. I hadn't watched them recently. I know they won last week and have a chance to win this week, so they could come in with some confidence. And ours is rattled a little bit sitting here today. I hope we can put it behind us tomorrow and focus clearly on the task at hand for next week. But I know they gave us fits out there. They're very athletic and kind of tough to tackle. But it'll be an equally matched game, talent-wise or roster-wise. So we have a chance to win. They have a chance to win, and we've got to coach better and execute a little better next week to make sure that happens.
CJ Yarborough got a lot of reps. Has he been coming on in practice, or are you just trying to save his games?
He's been that way all year. We just tried to save his games. And, you know, Noah wasn't really into it today. He wasn't really with us today. And, you know, CJ is, you know, I think that's his third game. So we'll have to judge, you know, next week kind of. We did put DeMario in today, so he's got 2 more. So I expect to see him some, and then CJ will have to kind of judge.
You said earlier in the week you wanted to have some semblance of a running game to have some balance. Do you feel like you had that early on?
Yeah, I thought we, you know, I didn't know what the yards were, but we started having to throw it a lot after the score kind of got skewed. But really thought Frankie ran it really, really well. Thought we could have been balanced if we could have just hung in there and kept it, you know, 1-score, 10-point game. You know, and that's the frustrating thing is that we didn't manage to do that.
Did Mac not get as many carries because of the 2 chop block calls?
No, that had nothing to do with whether he get carries or not. It just, you know, probably we had RPOs called and they gave us some when he was in there. And, that had nothing to do with that. You know, I have to see the first one. I don't know how, it's not a chop, but they call it a block below the waist, but I think they're a little confused on that rule.
Do you think the defensive game plan and execution was good enough on Perkins' run game?
Yeah, I thought we did a decent job. I mean, you're not going to contain that guy the whole game. I thought we did a decent job on him, but unfortunately we gave up some inside zone explosive plays and some in the pass game. And they just had short fields the whole night.
Coach, long road trip finally over. Is it kind of comforting to know that you're back in Lynchburg next Saturday?
Absolutely. And thankful we only have a short trip home tonight. So that's we got to get back and put this one behind us. Look forward to getting back to practice tomorrow and get ready for this last one at home.
A couple guys left the game. Do you have any injury updates on anyone just yet?
No, I don't. I don't know. Scruggs, I think, had a bruised knee, and then another safety, Steele, went out later. I hadn't heard anything on those.
All right.